Hello Mountain View 5th graders! Even though we haven't been able to be in person for our Trails Tuesdays program since way back in March, I've had a lot of fun making videos for you this spring. But since the school year is about to end, unfortunately this is our last video. But I did want to give you all a chance to look back at what our Trails Tuesdays were like and do a little bit of a review all the way from back in January until now, and give you a chance to hear a little goodbye message from both Kelsey and me. So stay tuned until the end of this video for a message from Kelsey. So way back in January, your Trails Tuesday program series began, and you were introduced to both Maine Outdoor School and Frenchman Bay Conservancy, your local land trust. You heard about what a land trust is from Kelsey and learned about how they protect special places in order to conserve land, protect wildlife and waters, and also provide public access. So we were able later on to access one of those Frenchman Bay Conservancy preserves, which I'll remind you of in just a little bit. So on our first day, we practiced getting to know our observation skills. So using our 4 science senses, all of our senses except for taste. Not good to ever taste things randomly when you're outside. And we also learned about respecting our toes, teachers, each other, the environment, and ourselves. I also drew an amazing fox on the chalkboard, as I'm sure you'll remember my incredible artistic skills, to help us get to know how to be prepared outdoors, what kind of layers to wear, and how to be the best mammal we can be by being prepared outdoors. We also practiced then using our senses to try to find examples of nature observations we could make using one sense at a time. Towards the end of January, we were also thinking about how important it is for other animals to be able to use their senses so that they can survive in the outdoors. And we thought about how Frenchman Bay Conservancy helps make sure that animals can use their senses outdoors by preserving uninterrupted tracts of land where animals are less likely to be disturbed so that they can really use their senses to be able to survive well in the winter. Then in February, we were really diving deep into winter with a little bit of winter ecology. We first learned about adaptations, those things that animals do or the way that they are that helps them survive challenging situations. So we compared behavioral and physical adaptations through a game out on the field where we had to guess which adaptations were which type. So you might remember some of those winter adaptations were hibernation, migration, using shelters, eating a lot of food and moving around a lot, or conserving that energy through hibernation and sleeping through the winter. Then we went out into the woods behind your school and tried to find evidence of different kinds of adaptations that we could see outside right in that moment. So we found tracks of animals that moved around a lot. We found areas that would be good shelter. We also found evidence of plants photosynthesizing still, who still had some green leaves. Later in February, we went on our field trip to Frenchman Bay Conservancy's Taft Point Preserve over in Gouldsboro. It was a little bit icy that day, but we did a whole great hike with the help of our class navigators who used the map and helped us make sure we were going the right way. And then we got to do a little bit of exploring at the shore, and then we transformed into carbon molecules and journeyed through the carbon cycle to learn about where all energy on Earth comes from. Do you remember where all energy on Earth comes from? The sun. So then for our last in-person program that we had together in the beginning of March, we started learning about ecosystems. We considered what makes a healthy ecosystem, and you all did an amazing job of building models out of things you found in nature to show us how a healthy ecosystem would look, what kinds of things it would need, and all the different components that it would require. So throughout all of Trails Tuesdays, we were thinking about how Frenchman Bay Conservancy, your local land trust, helps make sure that we and the other species that are our neighbors in our ecosystem in this area are protected and healthy. And so you all thought about, does Frenchman Bay Conservancy help protect ecosystems and keep ecosystems healthy once you knew what a healthy ecosystem looked like? And you all said yes, Frenchman Bay Conservancy does protect ecosystems and keeping them healthy by protecting huge swaths of land and making sure that different animals have places to go without being too interrupted by people. So then when we all had to go virtual, I started making you a series of videos that helped us remember back to that field trip when we learned about the carbon cycle, where energy comes from and how energy is transferred between different things, in a sequence of videos about the food chain. So we did a bunch of food chain features about producers, decomposers, and consumers, and also included a little bit more detail about the life cycle of flowering plants, so you would have a chance to do some backyard learning with some of that in mind. So now that we've done a very quick review of our Trails Tuesday program from the past winter and spring, Mrs. Beal is going to send you a very short little questionnaire for you to answer some questions about what kinds of things you liked about Trails Tuesdays and what kind of things you learned. And that's going to help Kelsey and me make Trails Tuesdays in the future even better. So please fill that out right after this. Thank you so much for joining both Frenchman Bay Conservancy and Maine Outdoor School during our fun Trails Tuesdays program series this winter and spring. I really hope to see you all again soon. Have a great summer.
Hey everyone, just wanted to say thank you to Mrs. Beal and everyone in her 5th grade class for being so great during Trails Tuesday. We really miss you guys, but I hope that you're enjoying the great videos that Miss Hazel has been making for you. I hope that you and your families are doing well and that you get a chance to be outside this summer, even if it's just in your own backyard. Bye everybody!